Hello, and welcome to Unseen History, your hub for delving deep into lost civilizations and ancient history. Engage yourself in a time warp as we navigate the horrifying truth of slave treatment in ancient Rome, unraveling a gritty tale as vivid as a Renaissance painting. Brace yourself for a tale about ordinary men burdened with extraordinary servitude. In the heart of Rome's grandeur, we venture into the haunting lives of ancient Rome slaves, those silenced, enduring voices that made the eternal city gleam. There was once a period in Julius Caesar's ephemeral rule, 49 BCE to 44 BCE, when he devised a strategy to strengthen his grip over the Senate by introducing new seats. Not an unusual maneuver, yet the novelty lay in the identities of those filling these seats. Men not of Rome, but Gaul, the territory we now recognize as France, recently vanquished by the Romans. These Gaulish senators, awestruck by Rome's splendor, found themselves lost in a city of unparalleled scale and complexity. Rome, with its bustling crowds, architectural wonders, and the sheer magnitude of its civilization, was a sight beyond their comprehension. It felt like another planet, yet amidst the foreignness, they recognized a familiar sight: slaves, including some of their own kin, taken captive during the Gallic Wars. Could the Romans have built their grand city without slaves? Likely, but ancient Rome was no stranger to the brutalities of slave-owning societies. To provide a clearer vision, consider this. Caesar's ascension to power coincided with a time when slaves constituted an estimated 30% of the Roman Italian population. The bustling capital, constantly under construction, and the burgeoning population demanding labor, education, services, and much more, perhaps housed an even larger slave demographic. The dark underbelly of this phenomenon was sexual exploitation, often disguised as labor. In the stratified Roman society, the role of slaves was as varied as the social echelons. A select few held esteemed positions, functioning as advisors to Rome's most powerful men. Many of these were Greeks, seen as embodiments of civilization before they succumbed to the Roman Empire. Greek tutors, despite their elevated status and superior living conditions, remained enslaved, their servitude a status symbol in Roman high society. Then came the domestic slaves, personal servants, kitchen workers, cleaners who served in Roman households. For any Roman who could afford it, owning a slave was a status symbol. Further down the ladder were the workers on large farms, quarries, mines, marshes, who often led miserable, painful lives, their conditions hanging on the mercies of their owners. However, the gravest misfortune was reserved for the galley slaves and mine workers. Galley slaves, chained to their benches in all weathers, rode Roman warships and were left to die during times of trouble or defeat. Miners, on the other hand, bore the brunt of hell on earth. The Romans, oblivious to the effects of lead poisoning, utilized tons of lead, toiling their slaves in its extraction. A stark anomaly to this grim existence was the status of gladiators, slaves exalted in Rome, some of them even acquiring the fan following of modern pop stars. These slaves, upon surviving numerous fights or bringing glory to their owners, often gained freedom and, in turn, owned their own stables of slaves or gladiators. However, success, privilege, and popularity were hollow comforts as freedom remained a dream for most slaves. Many were born into slavery or captured during wars, their only understanding of freedom being a distant dream, a nebulous concept that even escape couldn't guarantee. The prospect of escape brought with it the certainty of brutal punishment. In the name of discipline, slaves could be beaten to death, whipped, executed in the arena, or even trampled by elephants in Africa. Infamous forms of punishment included crucifixion, a practice that comes from the Latin word crucificare, to fasten to a cross. As gravity took over, the crucified would succumb to asphyxiation, exposure, shock, or the aftermath of physical abuse endured prior to the crucifixion. Even within this ominous scenario, there were exceptions. Some slaves gained freedom by serving directly under their owners or by earning their freedom through acts of courage or loyalty. However, full-fledged Roman citizenship was a privilege few enjoyed unless they had served in the Roman auxiliary forces. In this grand narrative of history, we've unspooled the threads of the invisible lives that bore the weight of the Roman Empire's splendor. Even as the echoes of ancient Rome reverberate through time, the shadows of those lost lives still linger in its hallowed corridors. Their endurance and resilience are a testament to the human spirit. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share if you enjoyed our journey into the past. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another intriguing exploration.